Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. Oh, shut your mouth.
And for 2 weeks, our mouths have been shut.
They have been shut. Well,
no
I
longer.
mean,
Yours haven't. Yours
no,
never shuts.
No, it never shuts.
It's like that.
It's permanently.
Always.
Any photo of me, Jeremy.
Always be gaping.
Yeah, for the last 2 weeks, I've been gaping. It's been a sexy time, I have to tell you. Yeah, do you know what? You know when like you take a picture of someone at any point? There's a bit in How I Met Your Mother where they try and take a picture of Barney, and they try and take
bad
bad
pictures.
Candid,
a bad photo. Yeah.
It's a bit like that.
And every time it's like...
Yeah, every time. Even they like give him something to eat or something. Yeah. And with me, if you take a photo at any point, I'm just like mid-chat. Even if I was sitting like that, you take a photo and I'm like, and another thing. So yeah, you're right about that. Welcome in everybody to this, the 60-second Don't Get Me Started.
The checks notes.
I know, I had to look.
I'm not even sure that number's right. I just added a number on, and I assume that that's correct.
Hey, listen, these guys don't know. We don't have anyone
that
can't
count, Alex.
They can't, I know, right? Welcome in everybody. We've got a lot of people in. It's back. It's back, baby. Like it was never away. And here we are.
It does feel like it's been a very long time, though. I don't know about you. For me, it feels like it's been ages since we've done this show.
Yeah, it does. But the thing was, I obviously also took that time. I mean, you took some time, I took some time, and I was off my streams as well and had a summer holiday. So I have to say that 10 days, I think it was heavenly when I didn't actually have to think about it and didn't have to process it, and I could just chill out at Thorpe Park and have a wonderful time at LARP. So
whereas I went on holiday and kept streaming. I streamed from my parents' lounge,
you did.
And then I went to Matt's and streamed from there, so I didn't really get a
No, I didn't do that.
Which is why this week I kind of took a bit of a...
You got to have a break. You got to have a break, guys. But welcome in. We've had a break, and now we're back. Rejuvenated.
You could say that.
Do you feel rejuvenated?
No, I don't.
Not in the least.
No, I will feel rejuvenated as of next week when Hannah goes to kindergarten and I actually have, for the first time in years, this house completely to myself, where I will just sit here naked watching Law and Order. That's the plan.
Yeah. I understand. I frequently hang out naked as advised to by Alanis Morissette in one of her seminal works on Jagged Little Pill, to walk around naked in my living room. Feel free. So we've all been there, says Armstone. Everyone's here. Your father's here. Hannah's here. Mike is definitely here. I can see lots of Mikes and Reese there. I saw some Duff Valley.
Yep.
Plenty of people coming in.
Welcome in all.
Yes. We've got lots of fun things to talk about. Lots of segments. Old. And is it reasonable to say...
I've got a new segment.
New segment,
I have
Jeremy?
Been once again plotting. Inspired by the wife. She put me onto a good idea, and I took the ball and ran with it, and I've even made the sting. It's ready to go.
Naked episode 63. Or does Twitch frown on nudity? Chaos
Twitch
Nil
does frown on nudity.
They don't like it.
Unless you're an attractive woman in a hot tub.
Then they're okay with it.
They're like, it's very sexist that way.
Yeah, I have to say, there was talk that the captain and Reese were going to do a hot tub stream. But
then the captain bottled it, which is not the way around I expected it to
No, I didn't see it happening that way.
No.
And then he stopped streaming anyway, so
Yeah.
I think it was the hot tub that broke him in the end. Captain bottled that. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't want to drink anything that Captain fucking bottles, trust me. Keith Chegwin would have to host. Keith Chegwin still alive?
He is. I've met Keith Chegwin.
Have you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What a claim to fame.
He's a nice dude.
I bet he is. I'm glad he is. I would have been
the coolest
heartbroken.
person I met that day.
Did you say he wasn't or
he
was?
was not the coolest. But actually, he was the least coolest person I met that day, celebrity-wise.
How many celebrities did you meet that day?
4.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
What day was this?
It was when I went to watch the taping of It's a Knockout in 2001.
Oh my God. He? Hold on.
He was the host.
Keith Chegwin was the host of It's a Knockout.
Yeah. Actually, his co-host, who... He's dead!
Yeah, I thought he was dead.
Oh, there we go.
Cheggers is dead.
I did not know that. Yeah. His
Poor old Chegg.
co-host on it. I want to say Lucy Alexander, but I think I'm making that up. Could be making that up. Where was like the two in front of house, as it were.
Oh right, yeah.
And then the kind of side hosts, the people running around going, "So you just fell on your fucking face. How did you feel?" Were Frank Bruno, who I'm not into boxing, but he was cool to me, and Nell McAndrew.
Nell McAndrew,
who you may or may not know.
The name rings a bell.
You were a teenager at a different time to me.
That's true. A mere 2 years between us.
She was a pin-up model, most notably a page 3 girl in the Daily Star.
Oh, classic.
Very attractive lady, and she kissed me on the cheek.
Did she? Was she the coolest person then?
She was the coolest person.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
I was 14.
Did it get you very excited?
There was a lot of material stored in my mind for quite some time after that.
Good old Nell McAndrew. Where is she now? And he's thought about it. And she's here tonight! Nell McAndrew.
I'm sure she remembers,
Yeah.
You never forget your 634th
kid. I like we went for 34. That's weird.
Yeah.
Surak, the artist also known as Mike, back in the 70s, there was Cheggers Plays Pop, if you remember that. Do you know what, Mike? I've been desperately trying to crowbar in Cheggers Plays Pop ever since Cheggers was mentioned and relating to him being dead.
It's not even the biggest kind of lame to fame involving Keith Chegwin, involving people that we know within our own network. Once, at one time, on Pendine Beach, Keith Chegwin with GMTV made Matt, my 2-minute warning co-host, dance and pretend he was Elvis Presley on national television.
That's the best.
And yes, I have that video clip.
Hey, we should get that one ready to go. Cheggers went pop. It's probably the best one we're going to get on this one. Hey, listen, I like that you managed to rate people you met in coolness.
I do it all the time.
Frank Bruno.
I do it after the show with the chat.
Frank
Place
Bruno
your bets.
Can't actually.
Who's number one? My wife is unranked. In case you can't rank her. Yeah, so.
I wouldn't want to, I think that would be a breach of our friendship if I were to do that. Shall we move along and let's get it started with a segment we like to call This Is Happening.
This is happening.
In a world filled with haps and naps, two men have risen above to bring you This Is Happening.
I used to watch Swap Shop, multicolored Swap Shop with Noel Edmonds. Yeah, absolutely. I remember that too. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. Legos, Haps, Lego. Hey, Legos are great, aren't they?
At least Mike's getting the pronunciation right.
Yes.
It's been wrong for so long. But
yeah, Legos.
It's not often Mike gets something right, Mr. Harmstein. But
was super going for him
right
last
now, mate. He was chatting utter nonsense last night. He deserved absolutely everything.
He did. He was. You're right.
I think he was wantonly being a dick in the first one.
That's kind of
try and trigger me, and it worked.
That is kind of what he does, though.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, shouldn't really rise to it.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you need to know how to hold it, know when to fold it, know when to walk away from Harmstone. But he has lost a lot of oxygen being in the cupboard. So as a result, it might have gone to his brain a bit. Duff Valley, Hap, I bought a house. Whoop! Whoop! I love that. I think that's an excellent Hap. Got you started. Hey, that's true.
He shared some photos of his garden area as well with us in the F1 Racing Show chat. And he's got like this little area where it's like a gazebo-y outdoory space. So one time there will be, in the summer, I'm not doing this in the winter, Duff.
No.
Sunday afternoon effing racing show from his garden with beers and sunshine. It's going to be
amazing.
Glorious.
Sounds amazing.
I don't care about the rest of his house. I assume it's fine.
I'm sure it is.
It's perfectly serviceable and has probably had a survey to check that it's not falling down and that kind of thing.
I hear they're very important. Keris jumped onto a box. Like, what kind of box are we talking about here? Do you know more about this?
I do, but I mean, the term "I jumped onto a box" is pretty funny, even though I'm married to her.
Because I presume it could be just like a shoebox or a cardboard box that she wanted to crush and put in the recycling.
I regularly jump onto box, but that's just me. No, she has been practicing her vertical leap.
Oh, yes.
So she has leapt from ground onto a
I thought it
a
might
box.
be that.
Yes.
I thought it might be that.
And the fact that she has done that is very impressive because I saw her first attempts a few years ago and yeah, it was funny.
Work forgot to invite us back to the office before they did the refurb, so they basically binned everything that was on my desk. Is a nap from Mr. Harmstone. I don't know if it does matters really much because the only thing you've really lost is that signed photo of Paul Sinner, presumably. So did you really miss that? I'm not too sure about it. Duff Valley just won the Haps. All the Haps.
Yeah. You could have left that a little bit later, Duff, so we could have ended on a high. But steal the thunder, mate. Go for it.
Don't bury the lead.
Yeah.
Work is over for the week, says Tallulah. And retail therapy, says Hannah. Some succulents and candles. I know what what the fuck is a succulent? That sounds like a tasty thing to eat, like a morsel.
Like a
pork pie.
Yeah.
A succulent, like a
something
samosa.
that's had an apple in its mouth as you cook it.
Oh yeah, like a pig.
A suckling pig.
Yes. So she basically bought some pigs and candles. Correct us if we're wrong there. Tams and Appy's here.
Maybe it was bacon fat candles as well, just to keep on the theme.
Nice.
Yes, I'm going to scroll back up.
It's as if I left that at the office. I sleep with it every night. Fair play to you.
Perhaps this week I won Modern Ulst.
Is that meant to be
LST?
Yeah, I don't know what LST actually is, but Modern is a format of Magic, so he's won a Modern tournament.
I think
that's last week. Modern last week, first time in 5 years. Congratulations. Modern's a tricky format to play because it's ultra powerful and people have well-established decks that kick the shit out of you. So well done, because that's super cool. And I know you don't fully know Magic. By fully, I mean at all.
Yeah.
But recognised game, dude. He's
Speaking
a pro.
of things I don't know at all, first round of the FA Cup for Barnoldswick tomorrow in the soccer football.
Yes, Barnoldswick sounds like a made-up football club that would be in a Miss Marple murder or something like that.
It is, yeah. And there's another place up there, or it might be the same place. I'm not really sure. We're experiencing a raid. Bear with. There's a place called Barlick.
It's Rooster. Welcome in, Rooster.
Get you some squirrels. Welcome them on in. We'll get back into.
I just seen the same thing.
That's the next one. So Nap, Chaos Nil has just discovered that Keith Chegwin is dead.
Yes.
I mean, I've just discovered it as well.
I sort of thought I knew it, but could have been convinced out of it, basically. Was not certain. But I'm also sad to hear that Keith Chegwin is dead, because he was a real staple of my coming home after school, watching Cheggers Plays Pop youth, and my multicolour swaps shop youth. Try saying that. So, yes. It's a pity. Poor old Cheggers.
Another hat, but you couldn't redeem it because I don't know why. Karras shot 6 people on Call of Duty.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Is that not? I mean, people shoot people all the time on Call of Duty. Yeah, was 6 her personal best?
It's the only time she's ever played it.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I was cooking dinner and playing Call of Duty, and then the alarm went off to say, go and finish dinner. I was like, here.
You play.
And she kept playing even though I was sat there eating my food. And yeah, I can testify.
Nice.
She
testify.
She killed 6 people, which
I love it.
Probably 6 more than other people could do.
I do like those sort of games, right? I don't play a lot of them, but I do like those sort of games. I should play more of them. Nap, Kiss not leaving their promenade. Were they on the promenade? I mean, I know they went to the beach. Presumably they haven't left yet.
That has gone completely over my head.
Well, I mean, there was something a couple of weeks where we wanted to have Kiss performing on the beach, and there was a whole thing with that. But anyway, Barlick is the nickname for Barnoldswick.
They shouldn't do that.
I think it's confusing.
That's my feeling.
Neither of these places sound real to me.
And Rooster's in. How's it going, guys? It's going great. Even better now that you have brought your audience here. Welcome on in.
Darth Azim, welcome back in.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
And it's also what happens when Reese gets drunk enough. Barlick, yes. He's the our resident Barney Gumble.
Ah, okay.
Nice, Reese. Yeah. Hap, says Rooster, my new drum kit is assembled. Oh, were you just playing on it? Because I would be disappointed to have missed that. But
yes. I mean, presumably. That's good. Good to have a new drum kit. Went in there the other day. Watching him play. It's all good.
Yeah, I called in there. Your father's nap. Pinged.
pinged.
Hey mate, I've got a way around this. I do it all, well. I've done it continuously. Don't have the fucking app. Can't get pinged that way.
Pinged?
COVID proximity to somebody who has tested positive.
Oh, I see.
Pinged.
Oh yes. So if you don't have the app,
you can't get pinged.
Can't get pinged.
Yeah. Also, being double vaxxed helps as well.
App shit, get pinged.
There it is.
Yeah, I know.
Work policy to have the app, right? So you show them and then you delete it again.
Do they check every day? Are they going to check
your phone every second of every day?
No, they do. It's like a drug test thing. They have an app test. They kind of like, app test, everyone get your phones out, and you're
go and piss on your phone. I mean, show us the app on your phone. Sorry, that's the weekend patter. Sorry about that. No, it's still base week. Probably Sunday or Monday will be the new kit
Happy
stream.
days.
Cool. You're doing a Sunday evening, aren't you? So, cool. Yeah. There is such a thing as turning the location permissions off for the app. Again, just don't have the app.
Do you know what? I mean, you could just take a screenshot, kind of like you could have your lock screen picture like be a picture of like the screenshot, so it could permanently look like you had it. It's like, there you go.
Here's my app.
Here's my app.
As you can see, no pings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Nap. Someone scratched my car. Second time I've had it hit in 2 months.
My car has so many little nicks and dings on it
so
from
fucking
living on this street. It is fucking like, it drives me up the wall. Not much you can do about it, obviously. Even if you had a camera, you wouldn't.
No, do you know, people talk about having dash cams.
Yeah.
And I don't have one of these things, but I often think that it would be fun if I did, because if I did, I could go and drive around Folkestone, Jeremy.
It would be content for Don't Get Me Started,
I know.
if nothing else.
I'm tempted to get one just to drive around.
As well, just for, like, hey, look at this guy being a dickhead.
This motherfucker, check this shit out.
And capture everything he does.
There should be a photo of me, my camera coming back at me, as it were, like my phone camera back, and that going like that, and so constantly go, oh, what the fuck is going on here? That would be hilarious, basically.
Have you seen that show, Police Interceptors?
No.
It would be like that, but with more dickheads, probably, because we seem to attract them on the roads.
Oh, absolutely. I just have to drive around, and I like driving. Nap. Apparent lack of wine choice. For me, presumably, not Reese. Unless it does mean Reese.
I'm on the Alcamaha.
No, I drove here, so I don't want to... I mean,
the roles have been truly reversed this day.
Yeah,
he's got things to do, so he has to go home.
I do.
Than, share the spare room with my cat.
Yeah, that's exactly as you said. I have to do things later, so I have to drive again when the time comes. So I can't drink tonight. And also, I'm thinking of cutting down a little bit. Not that I feel particularly like I'm drinking too much, but it'd be nice to kind of bring it down a little bit because I'm going to Essen in about 6 weeks' time.
In Essen, there will be Ser Essen.
Ser Essen, yes, yeah, and drinking.
If you know the German.
Not really. Lots to eat.
Essen is eating.
Yes, Essen is eating.
And Ser is lots.
Lots.
Great.
Yeah. So I did manage to safety dance. And
this has been your German lesson for the day.
So I just figured that that's going to be a big weekend. Let's kind of keep it low, you know.
Harmstone's correcting me. I'm sure my grammar was off, but I don't care.
I had to get a dash cam when 3 people tried to drive into me on one commute home, but they obviously knew who you are. It's just like, there's Harmstone!
Quick, get him!
Get him!
I did watch once. This person had a hidden dash cam. And there was this phenomenon going on at the time where these dickheads on their motorbikes would, like, at traffic lights, like, speed past you and, like, get in front of your car.
Yes.
Then they would get off their bike.
Yes.
Put it into neutral.
Yeah.
And then, like, ram it backwards into
your car.
And then put the bike down on top of themselves and scream and wait for passers-by to come and, like, observe that they had hit you with their car.
Fuck me.
But these people had dash cams, so they're like,
lol. It's probably worth getting. There's one of those tricks you hear where people kind of say they'll let you out and they go, off you go, and then you come out and then they drive in front of you and you hit them. And then, of course, there's no record of you kind of... And also, the letting you out thing is
not a legal thing.
It's not a legal thing.
No.
So you shouldn't do it for reasons of that. But there are lots of little sneaky things that people do to kind of make you think, oh yeah, it's okay. But yeah, fuck that shit. Please tell me in true Sam Allardyce fashion that is a pint of wine. Darth Azim, I would love to say it was a pint of wine, but it is not. It's currently now half a Pepsi Max. But no.
Mine contains this wonderful drink that I was given by a good friend of the channel, VR Sorrow. It is spiced rum. Manchester Drinks Company spiced rum. Armstone. With ginger and pear. And it is fucking stunning, I will say.
I don't think it helps that my face is on my car, like I'm a local radio DJ. Why is your face on your car? That sounds like ultimate vanity. No, I would drink wine, but I have to wait until, well, you know.
Get home.
Yeah. Well, I could have it tonight.
Bit of midnight whining for why the fuck not.
We're going to see Hairspray. Oh, we should probably do our own haps and naps.
Probably.
What's hap for you?
So, we touched on it. Holiday. Went on holiday to
Wonderful.
Wales. Stayed with my parents for a week, and Hannah, my daughter, got to play with her grandparents for a week, which was nice. Did some nice things, walks, a train, all that kind of shit.
Good stuff.
And then this past weekend, went back to conventions. Finally, traded at my first convention since this whole nonsense with COVID kicked off.
I suspect you're going to talk about that a little bit. About how was the convention?
It was quiet.
Right.
It was quiet, and my nap is con was dead.
Yes.
Because it was very quiet, and I did think people might be ready to, return to the world and get their money out, but
they were not.
They were not. But it was good to do anyway. It's good to get back out and see people and get some rum.
Yeah, got some rum. Did you see any celebrities or any noteworthy kind of people?
I did.
How would you rate them in coolness?
Well, the first one that I saw, I had met several times before.
Don't tell me it was Peter Davison, because I fucking hate that prick.
It wasn't. I didn't bump into Peter Davison, but he was there.
He was there?
He was there.
Oh, fuck that cunt. He's always there. See, well, he's just such a fucking shill.
There were 3 doctors there, actually.
Oh.
I only saw one of them.
Can I guess what they were? If one of them was Pete Davison, I only have to guess 2 others.
Yes.
Well, several of them are dead. So I'm going to guess... Do you know what? I bet you Colin Baker does around. Was one of them Colin Baker?
It was not Colin
Baker.
Oh,
damn it. He seems like someone that would be. Sylvester McCoy.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, I knew it.
And I saw Sylvester McCoy. I nearly knocked him over. One of 2 celebrities that I nearly knocked over.
Okay, well, I'll have one more guess and say... Oh, no, Chris Eccleston won't be doing it. He hates that sort of shit. I'm going to say Tennant. Was it David Tennant?
It was not.
Oh, well,
David Tennant is way too big.
I know, he is too big. I thought maybe...
A small Nottingham convention.
Oh, is it? I didn't really know.
Mid-sized.
Okay, well, I've got to think lower.
I'm not sure you'll get this one, actually. Or maybe you will now, because I've said you won't get this one. That's kind of a clue in itself.
Oh, I see. I'd have to be obscure about it. I honestly don't know who it is. Go on.
It was Paul McGann.
I was going to say Paul McGann! I can't believe it! I was going to say Paul McGann!
Yeah.
I should have just said it. It was obvious. When you said you're not sure you're going to get it, it had to be the person that was the doctor for the shortest time. Okay, I feel good about that.
Yeah, Paul McGann. Yeah, so I nearly knocked over Sylvester McCoy as I was packing up on the Sunday afternoon. And then I barged my way past John Rhys-Davies because he's a racist.
I didn't know that he was.
And I felt no remorse about it.
How do people know about these things? Everyone's going, well, such and such. I don't know how people know these things.
Yeah, just when you've got 5 minutes, just Google
John Rhys-Davies
Question Time.
Oh, God.
Just watch him on Question Time. It was atrocious colonial bullshit. Anyway, and then I had a long chat, as I regularly do, with Steve Cardenas, who was the second Red Power
Ranger. Yes.
He just loves to come and hang out at my stall.
Hey, that's really cool.
He's a cool dude. And he now lives in London.
That's decent.
Moved from California, which is a step down, I have to say.
From California, yeah. So that's cool. So a quiet but kind of fun con for you.
Yes.
And that's not the only hap thing that you have up there. A hap thing that unites both of us.
Yes.
That you've got up there.
The NFL regular season begins on Thursday next week.
Yes, NFL's back, baby. Thank God for that. Another season of the Bucks crushing everybody in sight. It's going to be a happy season.
The 100% vaccinated Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I know, right? I think the Falcons are as well.
One of 2 teams, yes.
Yeah.
Both in the NFC South.
Oh, well, yeah.
They love their vax in the
they do.
In the South.
Yes, yeah, they do. So I'm looking forward to that. To pick up on something on the chat, why do I hate Peter Davison? It was covered in another...
It was.
I don't know if it's another DGMS. I think it might have been on my stream.
I think it was a DGMS and
a Thursday night stream. Yeah, the quick version is I saw him one time at the Academy when the Academy were hosting a kind of a con. I went around to see him, and he basically ignored me while I stood there waiting to talk to him as the only person that had come to get an autograph. Actually, I wasn't going to get an autograph. He didn't know that, but I just come to say, hey, you're always my favourite doctor. I think you're great. I never thought I'd get a chance to meet you. And hey, I was going to say all this gushing cool shit, and he just, when someone knows you're there, and you're standing there, and they see you out of your peripheral vision, and then they choose to fucking ignore you. What they could do is just kind of go, oh, sorry, hold on, let me just finish this thing. I'll be right with you. Okay?
He must have known you were going to talk to him about Doctor Who when really Peter Davison just wants to talk about his time on Law and Order UK.
His time on All Creatures Great and Small.
Yeah, like his time on Doctor Who really pales in comparison to all of the other shit that he's done. So I can't blame him for mugging you off, really. You've probably deserved it.
Listen, Davison is not your hero. You're not as old as me. You can't have it both ways. Davison is not your hero. He's nobody's hero.
No, he is, because Harmstone is a fan of Law and Order UK. Again, you're conflating this Doctor Who stuff.
Oh, yes, I've done it again, Jeremy.
Law and Order UK, mid-2000s, of course. He's
classic.
Harmstone's hero.
Do you know what? So, Harmstone's hero sounds like another TV show where he's the coach of a local football team.
It sounds fucking terrible. Let's watch it.
Let's make it. Stop making everything about you, Alex. You haven't met me, right? You misunderstand. It's me. I was going to say...
oh, man, this room is good.
The bottom line is, it was just a twat. When I met him as a twat, it's like certain people never meet your heroes because they will disappoint you. Apart from Rufus Wainwright, who is fucking incredible.
All of my heroes have not disappointed me.
Good for you. I'm very pleased. That's good. Hey, listen, but I'm just saying he was a dick, and even when he eventually deemed me worthy enough to turn and look at, and I said, "Oh, hey, like you're super cool," he was like,
"That's £15, please."
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, sure, okay, whatever. Like he didn't know what he was doing there. Like he was like, I'm here. You're here to meet people, and people come and see you. If your response is to tell them to go fuck yourself, trust me.
I think he was having an off time because I have heard so many other opposite stories to that.
Hey, really?
Of him being super cool to people.
No. Listen, you only have one chance to make a first impression, Jeremy.
Do not miss your chance to blow.
This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, and he missed that chance.
You better who yourself.
You better never let it go. Fahemian Rhapsody, come in, welcome in. I always thought he was a weak choice for the Doctor, especially after Tom Baker. Well, Tom Baker was well known and well loved as being one of the best Doctors of all time, especially from that earlier era. And Peter Davison I always enjoyed, especially in the 5 Doctors, which is a very, very good TV show where there are 5 Doctors. But it all fell apart after that.
Yeah. When I used to watch classic Doctor Who on UK Gold on early Saturday mornings, I couldn't really tolerate any of them before Peter Davison. I thought they were a bit...
It was a bit of a strange time, I'll admit, and especially by comparison now, certainly. Aletha's pitch-perfect rendition of Lose Yourself is
incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
She will love...
even as good as Threw It on the Ground. That was even better.
I'm so glad she'll watch all this back, but yeah, she was wonderful. I'm likely to be biased, but thankfully I don't need to be because everyone agrees, so there you go. Incredible. It was such a lot of fun last night, and it was really good to have her.
Objectively fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
Yes.
We've been talking about Through It on the Ground, and we practiced it a little bit, but it was one of those ones we were like, is this going to work? In the back of my mind, I thought, actually, this works
and I think
well
that
enough.
Was part of it, is that she was just so up for whatever was being thrown at her and was willing to try anything, whether you'd practiced it or not.
Correct, yes.
Just rocked it with
They give it to me.
confidence,
Let's bring it on, which is like...
It was great.
And you know how I'm quite, oh no, I must practice. She was like, fucking bring it on, just nailed it. So, much like Hannah, actually. Hannah's very similar. Hannah's like, yeah, let's try that. It'd be good to get them both on to do.
It would, but Hannah missed the performance. Get back on the VOD.
Yeah, it is worth the VOD.
Needs to be done.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So what is your hap this week?
LARP. Because I went away to LARP, and so that was the thing. I went to... me and Aletha went to Thorpe Park, and then myself and Aletha went with Duncan the Singer and Captain Brilliant, we went to LARP up just outside of London.
Can you only do things now that have hard P's in them?
Thorpe
Park LARP.
Yes. Yes, I can.
And other things that are hap.
Yeah. Hey, you went to LARP? Yeah, I know. Unbelievable, right?
It's news to me too. You wrote it up there and I was completely blown away by it.
Blow us all away, yeah.
Brand new information!
I never heard about it. I won't dwell on it. It was a lot of fun and we had a good time. Thorpe Park, I think I put on my nap as the queues were pretty bad. And in fairness, I don't want to dwell on this too much because you go in summer, you're gonna, encounter queues, but they were a little bit crazier than I had anticipated. But we had a good time anyway. So I had a good time. So yeah,
I don't think I've been to Thorpe Park.
I have to say,
which one's Thorpe Park? Is that the one over on the M25?
Yes, it's quite close to us.
I have not been to Thorpe Park.
It's like near Staines, effectively, so Ali G territory. For those people who used to be watching that, it's quite close to to that kind of like northwest, just outside of London.
Yeah,
and
on the way to Wembley.
Yes, precisely. It's quite a lot of fun. There's a lot of good rides on it, but a lot of the rides have big drops, and Aletha is not a big fan of massive mega drops. Yeah. In which case, there's several that, and I was saying this the other day, that I think she had misunderstood there was a mega drop on one of these things, and we almost went on the ride, and I knew there was a big drop on it, and she did not. And I thought, now I have a chance here to kind of not tell her or tell her, and I told her, basically. But anyway, yeah. So it was good fun. I'm really looking forward to actually going to Alton Towers instead. I think I prefer Alton Towers. Some of this was covered the other day on my stream, but
I've not been to Alton Towers either. Again, as somebody who doesn't like these big mega drop type things, it's kind of defeats.
Yeah, because I think they have one, and I could be wrong, called Oblivion, which does just drop at Alton Towers. Citation needed, but yeah.
Oh, isn't it? I don't know if it's there or somewhere else, but there is one that is not just vertical, but it actually comes back on itself.
Yeah. Saw does
that.
Saw does that. It comes over the top and then back on itself. I think Oblivion's a big drop. But I would like to. I think I prefer inversion loop. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I didn't think I would, but I went one time to Disneyland and I loved it.
I'm the person you bring to hold all the bags and eat all the snacks while you go on the rides, basically. That's the reason you take me to a theme park. I'm going to stand there and eat all the croque monsieur and make sure nobody nicks your bag.
I love it. Someone needs to do that. I'm the same. I went to Disneyland and I didn't know, and I just wasn't really thinking. I'm like, yeah, we're going to Disneyland. Yeah, we're going to Disneyland. And when we start getting queues, I'm like, oh shit, some of these things are actually going to be roller coasters. And I was asked, like, do you like roller coasters? And I'm like, I don't think so, don't know. And so then I just kind of like went on it. I'm like, yes, I'm into this. There was some scary moments where I'm just like, do I want to do this? And much the same as some of you, kind of like thinking, I don't want to do that. But now I'm into it. it.
Yeah, I mean, I suffer from vertigo. So if I go on one, it's not even like, oh, that was scary. It's like, no, I'm going to vomit and I'm going to be dizzy for the rest of the day. So it's a waste of time.
I hate roller coasters, says Tom. The only one I've ever been on is the Snoopy coaster at Universal Studios Japan with Hannah. I was wearing a fake Snoopy head and the staff at Snoopy World were delighted. That's so amazing. What were you doing with the fake Snoopy head? That sounds like such a weird thing to necessarily have with you. I love it though.
That does seem a very random your father thing to do though, actually.
It does. It sounds...
Hey, wait, there's a Snoopy ride there?
Let's put a fucking Snoopy head on. I think we've covered our haps and naps. I think we probably...
yes.
Oh, Hannah. H bought it for me. Fair play.
Very nice too. So, shall we transition smoothly into our next segment?
Yes.
Audio... What's the word I'm looking for? ASMR at the ready.
Yes.
Is the segment that you love to hear called Going Viral. Harmstone's obviously got squelch pasted in his.
He's ready to squelch.
Because I try to get to the sting quicker every week without warning and just throw it in there. But he's always there with a squelch.
Yeah, he was there ready with a squelch. Going viral, Jeremy.
Going viral, yes.
And what delights have you got for us tonight?
Okay, so let's go first of all with this one. So. Probably more relevant to the women in the chat.
Okay.
Have you ever been on a night out?
Yes.
The night's going well, and then all of a sudden, you wake up the next morning with very little recollection of what has happened to you the night before.
I frequently have that. That is something that has happened to me. Sorry, I'm just sat on my
Have you ever woken up in a premises that was not your own and completely unknown to you?
No, I have not. I woke up and I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has not happened to me.
That has not happened to you. Anyone in the chat?
I have a small amount of disorientation. But then I remember where I am.
But so you've never woken up in a stranger's house to be like, how the fuck did I get here?
No.
What has happened?
The blackouts have never been that bad.
I hope this isn't a video of me, says Tamsin. Yeah.
And she's here tonight.
Well, how would you feel if you woke up with this note next to you as in a completely random person's house? And it's quite hard to read, so I'll
You'll read it for us.
Here is what the note says. Don't panic. I think that bit's quite clear.
Good start.
There's paracetamol in the top drawer and bottled water on the side. The bathroom is straight across from you.
Okay.
Your clothes are in the spare bedroom of I'm the bouncer you were talking to last night. You weren't in a state to be left alone. You wouldn't/couldn't get a taxi, and none of your friends were answering the phone. Your phone is on the bedside table, along with your jewellery. The clothes you threw up on are in the washing machine/dryer. Some oversized hoodies are available in the drawer. The choice is yours. You can sneak out without a word. The city centre is yada yada yada, or you can stay in bed. There's clean towels on the banister, possibly food in the fridge, a sticker with the Wi-Fi password on it somewhere in the living room, Netflix on the TV, and a dog who loves to be played with.
Is that the whole thing? Has this person...
Like, when you look at this list, it's like, where is the title. It's like, phone, tight-fitting jewellery, tight-fitting jewellery, not just jewellery.
Mate. So, am I to understand this? This is a woman that has woken up to see this, and a man has written this who's the bouncer.
Yes.
I mean, women can be bouncers too, but I'm just making a leap that I think I've landed on. We'll get to that. I think this seems pretty weird, because the thing at one point is like, where are my clothes? So he thought, she's thrown up on her clothes, I'll take them off for her. So has she woken up without any clothes on? Because that's what it seems. Do you know what? I would probably, so let me just work this back. Let me just Columbo the shit out of this, right? So
I do like how you've reacted to this. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
Yeah, P.S. This is a lie. There is no way out. You'll never be seen again. I get weird vibes from this. Me too. I mean, the very fact that someone sat down to type this out after thinking she's asleep, and he went, well, she's going to be confused about this, so let us. I'm thinking I'll go for Calibri. You know, at what point has he thought this through? It isn't Calibri.
It is not.
No.
It's a very nice font, actually. I'd like to know what font it is.
I couldn't nail it straight away, so I just said that.
It's a very tall, thin font.
He's opted. At least he hasn't gone for Comic Sans.
I appreciate a good font.
So let me say, he said, if what we understand is true, she's got out of a club or a pub, really fucking drunk, falling over a place. She won't get a taxi home, can't or won't get a taxi home. Friends are gone, she's on her own, can't get anybody. So like, he's like, I don't know what I can do. So what I've thought of is I'll take her back to my house because she won't get a taxi home. But like, how can you not get... Surely you could get her address out of her, presumably. But in this situation, he has begged her for the address and said, where do you live, where do you live, where do you live? We'll get you a taxi and put you into the house, open up the door maybe and just push her in. But instead he's gone, no, listen, okay, what can I do? I'll take her back to my place. Now, she's thrown up on herself at some point along this, so he's kind of dabbed her off a little bit, but that is insufficient. So he's put her to bed, taken off her clothes, and put them in the washing machine.
And her jewellery.
And her jewellery, which is the least of our fucking worries, frankly. And then she's either in her underwear or naked, in a bed, and receives this note. Like, this whole thing is super strange.
So this came accompanied with a full article. A bouncer has been slammed online over an extremely creepy note shared on social media, full of instructions for the drunken bar goer that they took home. Seemingly left to reassure the person following a drunken night out, its contents left many people terrified and urging others to never take inspiration from it.
Oh God. I mean,
yeah,
I think this is weird.
I would be straight to the hospital for a rape kit. To be honest,
this is the thing, right?
I mean, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
I don't have a vagina.
No, you don't.
But if I were a woman, I'd be straight to the hospital.
What's strange about this is that I can sort of see where he's going with this, because if I take it at face value as a nice gesture, I can, without the bits that I'm really freaked out by, because I just think if someone had thrown up on themselves, I might just leave them in the clothes. I might kind of say they're in the kitchen, they're all over the place, and for some reason I've taken them home in this example. I try and get the sick off them and just kind of put them to bed in their clothes. I wouldn't take their fucking clothes off. I don't care how much they smell of sick. That's just asking you for fucking trouble.
No, if I came to a position where I had taken a drunken girl home that I did not know, I would put her in the bath and just put a quilt over the top and be like, that quilt's dead to me, that's fine.
Yeah. The thing about this is that...
Fully clothed.
Yeah, there's a lot of creepy things here.
Yeah, and whether this had creepy intentions or not, you gotta know that in this day and age, anything can be misconstrued to be a creepy ass weird thing. This is someone who is socially awkward enough that he is unable to do this in the right way, but the intentions, I believe, he hopes, are pure. That the intention is, I was worried about you and I took you home. But I'm pretty sure there are other options that we can get to. I mean, a handwritten note is probably the first amongst them.
Yeah.
Not a perfectly formatted.
This does
looks
seem
like it's been pre-prepared.
The whole thing is
weird.
weird.
You know, one day I may be in the situation where I'm going to need to explain to a girl that I have taken her home and taken her clothes off without her consent. Maybe I should have some sort of
template ready to go.
And I can change the specifics on the fly, but generally I'll make sure I've got it ready to go.
She's got it saved. It's strange. I hope for the best, but I just think it's super weird. I mean, oh God. But so weird. What I would say about this is that if in that situation, what would you do instead? Can you call the police? Can you take a... I mean, at what point can you get that information? She's like, can't or won't, or whatever way we phrase it. I reckon you could get that fucking taxi. I reckon you can get a taxi.
Well, when our male friend was too drunk to do anything useful, we just called an ambulance and the police.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I think in this situation, I would have...
ambulance and they were going to call the police.
If I
kicked them.
Got in this situation, I'd just call the police, call an ambulance. Say, if I call an ambulance, I'm worried about this person. She's drunk so much she can't even get her words out. Let's make sure she doesn't get ill. And then they take her to the hospital, and I walk the fuck away.
Especially in the States, because then she'd be fucking charged for the ambulance as well, and that would be brilliant.
It's fucked up, but I don't like this at all. Super weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And you can see how that one went viral. This one, viral for different reasons.
So one ring was tight fitting, your finger is in the freezer.
What the fuck is this? Get the fuck off.
The one ring. She had the one ring. I'm surprised he could see her.
Okay, this has not worked in the way that was intended.
You can call the emergency service, or you can see if they have an emergency contact in their phone that they can call. Yeah, I mean, he was saying, like, we tried all her friends. No one was answering.
There we go.
I mean, how many friends do you try? There's a lot of people. Call a mum. Call someone. Someone's going to answer that fucking phone.
There's usually a long list of people in a phone book. You could hit one of them until you at least get some information about where she lives. Do
you know what I feel about this? And maybe it's unfair, and I know this is meant to be a comedy show, right? But it does feel like he was quite eager to be a good Samaritan here and got to that good Samaritan a bit faster than perhaps he could. Than
the common sense.
Yeah, because if he said, "Where are my clothes?" That's my biggest fucking problem with this. At one point, he took her clothes off. He took her clothes off, and I think that's the fucking alarm bell there. That's the fucking red flag.
That is weird. Yeah.
Anyway, how are you doing with this one?
I think we might be ready to go. Okay. So, I'm just going to preamble this as usual.
I love a preamble.
This viral video is the shocking moment in which a 16-year-old girl lost a fingertip during a mosh pit at Reading Festival.
And there was me telling Aletha the other day that mosh pits are fine.
Yeah.
A fingertip?
A fingertip.
A fingertip? How'd you lose a fingertip?
Girl in white hat loses finger at Reading Festival.
Girl in white hat.
So me and my friends went to Reading Festival and waited an hour and a half for H. I think it's H. I don't know.
H? What's he doing performing at the fucking...
it's not H, the letter H. It's AITCH, as in, like...
in white hat loses
the letter H has been spelled.
I see.
I assume he does the rap or something.
Is he wearing a tight-fitting ring?
As the time got closer and closer, more people started flooding in. As H came on stage, a huge mosh pit formed. I don't think it was a mosh pit, but...
No.
Carry on. I think it was a a pile of people. And we got caught at the back of the mosh pit. As it formed, I was slammed into the fence, and as I looked down, my finger had been clamped in between two of the fences. There were so many people trying to get the fence apart and free my finger, and because of the adrenaline, I didn't feel any pain as it was happening. Been there. I was in and out of consciousness and kept fainting throughout. Before the guy started recording, so the video that the guy, random passerby, recorded is on the right.
Yeah.
Her kind of rebuttal after the fact is on the left. I had just fainted. I didn't really remember being walked towards the stage as I fainted. The teen said she was sent to the hospital to have an x-ray, and doctors told her it will take a couple of months for the finger to heal. What's left of it anyway. The tip of my finger came off and was fractured. It will take a couple of months to heal.
Unbelievable. I mean, that's what you get if you go to see H, I suppose, really, you know. But did she not find the bit of her finger to have it reattached?
No.
It was lost in the mosh pit.
I mean, if it's been pulled clean off at the bone, I don't think you can do much with that.
I don't know how things work, but I've watched TV.
Yeah.
Someone threw a bottle while I was on the edge of a mosh pit at a concert. I had to go to the hospital to have stitches in my eyebrow. Fucking hell.
I think we've covered before that I'm not a big fan of standing at concerts because I end up being the protector of the small. Not a fan.
It is true.
Not a fan. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So, don't put your finger near stuff. I guess. Is my advice there.
What is the? Have you? Was that? Did you have any more?
No, that's the two.
Well, I felt like there was three, but there aren't. There's two. That's fine. Hey, listen.
After one comes two, and after two comes fuck you.
1, 2, fuck you. It's like you're writing a song for the Ramones.
I just want to go up to see this block of text because I didn't get to read it.
Fahim.
Sheet. Two guys sitting in a room. Today I watched F1 cars go zoom. Oh, it's a poem. I like the poem. A room in a nice house. That's a bit of an awkward place for Jez to put a mouse. I always put that there. Jez, you're wearing a nice shirt. Alex is nice as well, just so his feelings aren't hurt. It's Friday night. Have some beer and kegs while looking at Jez's smaxy legs. Alex downs wine, forgetting to savour.
That's true.
While thinking about Hamilton, the musical, not the racer. Jez, who hates the Comic Sans font. I do hate Comic Sans. He knows me so well.
And he knows you so well.
That was nice. And now I understand the other sentence he said, which was the formatting was fucked up on my poem. I'm like, I don't really know what's going on here.
We had a bit of a poem last night, actually. Fahim drops a lot of poems.
He's dropped some poems in the Discord as well. Yeah.
That's his jam, I'm thinking. Yeah.
This song is a poem to myself. It helps me to live.
Do you know what? I think I didn't know how that woman was going to lose her finger, but evidently, so she's put it over the top of a thing and then it smashed into the other bit. I mean,
I think there is a lawsuit.
I know, right? Where there's blame, there's a claim.
Mm-hmm.
They'll never have a Reading festival again. Was that this year?
Yes, it was last weekend.
They had a Reading
the
festival.
Before. Yeah.
Shit me. Everything's back. But yeah.
Everything's back. Yeah.
Like, I feels like some of these things are super easy to get done, whereas other events are harder to organise. And I never know quite where the boundary lies. But at any rate. Well, fair enough. That was the segment that everyone enjoys and we like to call Going Viral. Reading Leeds were another fully vaxxed negative test event, I believe. Well, it makes sense. People should be able to do this, but there are...
Yeah. This whole negative test thing is bullshit, though, but there you go. Well, don't get me started on that.
I'm going to Essen to the board game festival. And obviously now, like, Captain Brilliant was like, we can just go. And I thought, I better look into this to find out what the truth is of it. But yeah, once we get there, we have to get a test while we're there in Germany just to make sure we can get back to England. You have to do that 3 days before you come back. So myself and Aletha are looking into various different places we might go on holiday. And we're picking it based on the ones which have the easiest things to do.
The laxest rules.
Prague is like, anyone can come for any reason. In you come. And Italy is like, could you mind filling out this form and making sure you do this before you come over? And I'm like, no. And then Austria was like...
I'm not picking up a pen, mate.
Right. Austria was like, could you fill out this in this very specific set of circumstances, but only if you've done this, but not if you've done this. See Annex 1.
I'm just going to stop you. No.
You've got to see Annex 1. You won't be seeing Annex 1.
I will not.
No. They've had enough of annexes, in the Second World War. But at any rate, it just came to me.
An annex is where you put your granny when you don't want to put her in a nursing home, but you also don't want her to live in your own house.
You're never going to see her in Austria. Yeah. So, yeah, as a result, we're picking places that are easy to go to. But yes. Leeds! Anything with Leeds. Your father says Leeds. Well, now, listen. Where do you want to go from here? Topical Anschluss reference. I know, right? Just like... where do you want to go from here? Do you want to do this?
I think it's time to introduce my new segment because it's quite a reedy, talky thing, and then we'll break it up with a bit of putting things in the sea before we smash into Am I the Arsehole to finish, as we always do. So, brand new segment, inspired in a lot of ways by Am I the Arsehole? It's the same kind of people do shit, we chat about it.
I like that.
Piss taking in shoes. And so this brand new segment is the segment that I like to call Today I Fucked Up.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew he fucked up.
You've been watching a lot of Law and Order.
I've been watching a lot of Law and Order.
So, tell us about this, or are we just going to dive straight in?
So actually, this is another segment that over time can have a bit of audience participation. Today I Fucked Up is a segment in which we share stories of how people did something that cataclysmically fucked up their lives on that day. And if you have done something particularly stupid that you would like to share, or that someone around you did,
yes,
your friend did, possibly,
Captain Brilliant did,
you can share it in the chat. In the ways that you fucked up today, this week. And so, our first example comes from Reddit. Gentleman who shared the story. Today I fucked up by shooting maggots all over my kitchen. I found my favourite blender bottle, which is a protein shaker, behind my desk today, and was disgusted to find that it wasn't empty when I lost it, but instead was now home to 100 or so maggots.
Oh, stop.
Probably a low estimate. And leftover protein. Being a cheapskate and confident in modern cleaning chemicals, I brought it to the kitchen to clean rather than tossing it.
Just fucking throw it.
I intended to first put through some boiling water to both kill my new friends and dissolve as much of the dried on protein as possible before I got my hands on. I boil some water and do a couple of passes, but a few corpses are pasted to the side of the shaker. I think, no problem, I'll do another pass and shake the bottle this time and put in a tad of detergent for good measure.
This guy needs... Oh, fuck off.
3 or 4 shakes in, the pressure of the heated soap builds inside the bottle and the cap blows off, spraying my kitchen and itself with old milk scented dead maggot water.
What? You got everything you fucking deserved there, mate.
It took a bit to decide whether to write this or a suicide letter.
Just write off the house. Wait, why didn't you just burn your house to the ground at that point? Just write it off.
I burned it to the ground.
Honestly, I hate that shit. So he left something so long, or had forgotten it was in his bag or behind
his computer.
Oh, fuck off. You leave it there so long that maggots were in it, just sitting around in it, and he looked at it and he saw the 100 maggots all crawling around and he thought, I can save this bottle. No, that bottle in its entirety get chucked straight into the sun. Burn that. Fuck that. Burn it with fire and holy water. Jesus Christ. No. He did fuck up. Oh, that... I can't even. This really...
So as the opening to Today I Fucked Up, do you agree that was
amazing.
A colossal fuck up?
That was an incredible fuck up. But he got what he deserved, as I say, because he did a stupid thing, and he got banged full of maggots. Yeah.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
What made him think? He's like, I trusted in modern cleaning fluids, and I could get this done. Yeah, maybe you could, had it not been for the fact that you're a dickhead. Do I have one of these to read?
You do.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to read it now?
I gave you the lengthier one.
Oh, how sexy. This is a long one.
Now just read the title first and just let that sit for a while.
Chat shit, get maggots. Right. Today I fucked up. Tifu. Oh, I see. Tifu. Tifu sounds pretty cute given what we've been talking about. Today I fucked up by letting the... Fuck off!
Don't read on, just read the title.
Today I fucked up by letting the cat get my wife pregnant. I'm kind of looking at the chat waiting to see if they're as confused as I am. Today I fucked up by letting the cat get my wife pregnant. Oh no, indeed. Last year, my wife and I had our first child. It was a less than ideal pregnancy that had her dealing with weeks of bed rest due to preeclampsia with severe features. It wreaked total havoc on not only her physical health, but her mental health as well. Fortunately, everything was all right in the end. She gave birth to our healthy 4-pound 2-ounce boy just shy of 2 months early, who's doing fantastic now. Due to the difficulty of this first pregnancy, and concerns over COVID, we decided it was best to put off kid number 2 for at least a couple of years. She started birth control shortly after giving birth to be sure we had no surprises, but the pill tends to make her very sick, and she wanted to lose weight, so she stopped taking it.
So she fed them to the cat.
We thought rubbers would be enough, but that's where our cat comes in. Oh, I think I see where this is going. Our cat is an evil genius. It's a bit clickbaity as far as I'm concerned, but anyway. Our cat is an evil genius. I seriously think the greasy orange little shit is still smarter than our nearly 1-year-old. He gets into everything, including my wife's vagina. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that.
It does say that.
It does say that. It does. He gets into everything, and I do mean everything. No door, drawer, or cabinet can stop him. Or vagina. And if he knows where something he wants is, he will find it.
It's a bit rapey, but okay.
He once left a note out for this woman we found at the club. It's so bad that for weeks after adopting him, I thought there was a poltergeist in the house because each morning I'd wake up to find every single cabinet door in the kitchen wide open. As it happened, there was a poltergeist and I saw the cat leaping from one bed to another. So how did I fuck up this fucking guy?
We're crossing a lot of different
I know.
tropes here.
So how did I fuck up and let him impregnate my wife? Let him? The fuck? Well, first my
Pimps
first
his wife out to the neighbourhood cats, obviously.
My first fuck up was storing the condoms in the same drawer as the Q-tips, which he loves to get into and shred apart. He must have seen the box of Q-tips in the drawer when I put my rubbers away. Who calls them rubbers?
Americans. The same people who call cotton buds Q-tips.
I'm not down with that, but I understand that. But does anyone...
I can also attest... they don't... They call them rubbers.
Do they?
Yeah.
It sounds like something you call them if you're a teenager wanting to have sex.
No. I remember having a supply teacher when I was in secondary school who was Canadian, not American, and actually full out bollocked a child and sent them out of the room for asking her for a rubber. Because she was like, how dare you ask me for a rubber, and to kick the kid out, and the whole class just looks at her aghast
what just happened?
What why? That he's the good kid. Wait until we actually start doing normal supply teacher shit. And no.
I've heard the term, I get the term, but I associate it with something someone might say if they were
I mean, obviously it's a slang term,
yes.
But it's the slang term. It's like we call them Johnnies.
Yeah, and in a similar way, I would expect someone to call it a Johnny if they were
Some people really don't
old.
like the word condom, so they will just... If this was written by a British person in the same kind of way, it would relentlessly say
Johnnies. Yeah. I just think...
Anyway, we digress.
Yes, we do. He must have seen the box of Q-tips in the drawer when I put my rubbers away, because not even an hour later I stumbled upon a horrific scene of chewed plastic straws, shredded cotton fluff, and shiny gold condom wrappers scattered around the gaping drawer, presuming gaping drawer, that once contained them. I didn't think anything of it at the time, and just cleaned up the destroyed Q-tips and put the condoms that had spilled everywhere back into their box without a concern in the world. We ended up having some sexy time later that night, this motherfucker. I vividly remember stumbling into the dark bathroom, opening said drawer, and blindly fumbling around in the box to pull out a condom, as was the routine. Why do you... What? You have the sexy time, have the condom next to you in the drawer.
And then the cat mounted his wife.
And then, whilst I was in the bathroom getting the condom, the cat went and had sex with my wife. Thank you very much, good night. Like, no, the problem... Okay, I've got to move on. I've got to finish this before I... Fuck me. This guy shouldn't have kids, or a wife, or sex. Blindly fumbling around in the box to pull out a condom, as was the routine.
Hannah wants you to say sexy time again.
Please stop saying sexy time. It says it in this. It says it in this.
Sexy time.
Sexy time. Thinking of nothing what happened earlier. That is until fast forward a few weeks to just the other day when my wife was complaining of nausea and tender breast.
Cat's been
chewing on
a net.
We immediately shoot each other a concerned glance. That's the best bit so far of this. As this ain't our first rodeo, shut up. And she felt the same way before discovering her first pregnancy. She still had a half-empty box of tests.
She felt pregnant. Wow.
From the year before and decided to take one just to be sure, followed by another one and another one, all positive.
Another one.
You get a pregnancy test. We started racking our brains, wondering what happened when suddenly it hit me. That damned cat. I ran over to the bathroom drawer where I kept the condoms, dumped out the box on the counter, and started to inspect each miserable little foil square. Sure enough, several had noticeable scratches, teeth marks, and even full-blown punctures in them, which leads me to fuck up number 2, not checking to see if the cat chewed on any of my rubbers weeks before when he had gotten into that drawer.
And ignoring the note next to it said, ha ha, fuck you. Signed the cat.
Can't wait to explain to my new son or daughter one day that they owe their existence to the family cat. Now, I have to say, the intro to this, by letting the cat get my wife pregnant, as I said earlier...
It's very clickbaity.
But
it worked.
It did work. We read it. Blindly fumbling is not good contraception.
Well, it could be.
I mean...
If you purely fumble and don't complete the deed, that's great contraception. Not using your penis is a pretty good way to not get pregnant. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I think this is an enjoyable one to discuss. But why were they so puzzled? Condoms are not 100% effective even when not chewed. That is true. Yeah.
Mr. Dog, welcome. We're discussing a cat that impregnated a woman.
Yes, I have a problem with the author too. You can't have a false positive on a pregnancy test, my dude. The problem I have with this guy... It's just like...
Let me count the ways.
Yeah, let me count the ways. I just think the whole thing's nonsense. I mean, just the whole thing, the way he's written it, is just... Like... He did fuck up. Today I fucked up. Like, the cat gets into everything and claws everything up. And he thought, these condoms, which look ripped as shit, are probably fine. I won't check any further. And then in the middle of the night... Like, here's the thing. If you're having sex... Oh, God, this is going to be fun for Hannah, because I'm sure she's going to love that, but I'm kind of deliberately hitting it hard on purpose.
Hitting it hard, nice.
I know, it's deliberate as well. You would place the contraception as close to the place that the bed is as possible, because if you're like, we're having sexy times, like they say in this...
Sexy time, yeah.
And this is just objectively, and either one of us could make that, to draw this conclusion.
Sex checked. Yeah.
You don't like... Are you enjoying this? Yes, I'm enjoying this. Sexy times. Oh, ho, ho, ho!
Allow me to go to a different room.
Now let me get up and go to
procure contraception.
Why wouldn't he be there?
Of course it's next to you.
And like the bathroom's down the hall. He walks off down the hall and looks around in the dark. I'm just like, this guy deserves everything he fucking gets. Sexy time. Sexy time. Sexy time. Sexy time.
That's a clip.
That's a clipping in. So I'm just saying, his first mistake actually was the stupid... Who thought that they want to... Maybe he doesn't last that long and he wanted to add the walk between his bedroom and the bathroom and back again onto the kind of, the whole affair. It's like, listen, it takes me like 30 seconds to get into the bathroom, 30 seconds to locate it in the dark, and 30 seconds back. That's a minute and a half. Now I'm going to last 5 minutes. I don't know. It's possible. Anyway, my point, I guess, is... You get everything.
Today you did indeed fuck up.
This guy hasn't got a fucking clue. I mean, how is the cat getting into everything.
I mean, clearly it can open cupboards and stuff, so it's like clever.
Uncle Alexi time. Yeah, I don't call it that, but I want that.
Sexy Lexi.
Sexy Lexi. When a cat and a woman love each other very much, you're on thin ice, my friend.
You've heard of the birds and the bees. Other interspecies mating rituals include
cats and dogs,
cats and women.
Cats and women. Do you know what? I know it would never have happened, but I was looking forward to like when he comes back with the condom, and then like the cat's in there, and she's like, "What the fuck is? I thought it was you. I had no idea. Felt just like you."
Thank you, Reese.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you did fuck up, literally and figuratively.
So there you go. Now you know that segment exists. You can stockpile the times in which you fucked up and bring them to this segment when we trot it out.
Yes.
And that was the segment that we like to call Today I Fucked Up.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew. He fucked up.
Enjoy that. I like that.
Thanks. I spent a whole 15 minutes making that sting.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So, where can we go now that might also wind up my niece?
Oh, sex is gonna sex.
Sex is gonna. We got a new segment about the times I've had sex with girls.
Shit, I will.
Yes, please. It's basically Shagger's gonna shag is what it's called, and it's a laundry list of the women I've had sex with.
Now, Hannah, you wait for this thing because it's a fucking doozy.
And how I did it, and it's basically my face on some porn.
Bam, chicka, wow.
Shag this shit I'm in. Yes, please. Hedge is gonna hedge. I do not want that on a hoodie. Oh, stop it. Stop being so coy. Of course you do.
You know you do.
You especially want 8 of them when they decide to send you the wrong size.
You know you want it.
I think shag is gonna shag or sex is gonna. It has legs.
It's got probably some really long sexy legs.
Yeah. I would enjoy every week regaling you with stories of the times I've had sex. I'm sure everyone would agree.
I'm here for it.
Thanks. Yeah.
But in the meantime, we should probably do a segment that already exists.
I'm sure I'm not the only viewer of yours who might have a problem with this segment.
I don't even think you've got a problem with it.
Coming soon.
I think the lady doth protest too much.
Yeah.
The next segment.
Seriously though, we should probably move on to get rid of some shit we just do not want anymore.
Perhaps you have your own candidates for things that could be put in the sea.
Yeah.
Because there are many things.
Yeah.
And this is the segment in which we put things in the sea. Inspired in its name, it is called Get in the Sea. Won't you come with me? Gonna eat it in the sea. Won't you come with me? Gonna throw it in the sea. If you really, really hate it and you'd love to desecrate it, won't you come along with me and put it in the sea? I don't know when this is going to end. I'm laughing at all of this thing.
I just love that. I'm also laughing. I'm putting you both in the sea.
Hey, what have I done?
I think you encouraged me and joined in.
I mean, you are...
And said sex is going to sex.
Yeah, okay. I'll get my bathers.
Actually, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I haven't seen Godzilla in a while, it's fine. Go for a dip.
Well, this is a place where people can put things in the sea, but Harmstone there said ghosts, you're
They're
welcome.
already in the sea, I'm pretty sure. Or was it people who believe in that shit that went in there? So yeah, they're just for posterity, in case not. Ghosts in the sea.
Welcome in, by the way, Dave. I did see you come in, and we were in the middle of probably winding up my knee, so I didn't say hello. But hello! Let's put Moss Ringing folks in the sea now. All the ghosts.
And the Godzilla. He's in there somewhere.
Charlatans. The indie band, the Charlatans. I don't know that you want to put them in the sea.
I don't think we'll lose anything.
No, that's true. I mean, they basically wrote...
I mean, they don't deserve it, but...
Hi, Alec. Hello, Dave. Thank you very much for calling me Alec. The Charlatans wrote a song called The Only One I Know, and that is, ironically, or probably coincidentally, the only one I know of the Charlatans. Yeah, don't swim in Folkestone. Dave, Captain's been throwing waffle makers in there. He does. and hitting people who are swimming around.
To be fair, there was a sewage warning in the entire southeast coast.
Oh, really?
A few weeks ago. I don't know if it's passed now, but yeah.
I think that was due to Captain Brilliant and his terrible diet.
The timing does match up.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of what he does is a danger to shipping, and apparently swimmers as well.
And everyone else. And himself.
And himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But this is the segment where we like to put people, things, other stuff in the sea, concepts. So
the idea is, for those tuning in for the first time, we're on an island, a deserted island.
Yes.
Well, it's not deserted.
There's a lot of shit on it.
Everything was on this island. Everything in the world. And obviously, that's a lot of shit, and it's too heavy. So we need to lighten the load by jettisoning the things that we do not like and piss us off. Because who wants to keep that shit around?
No.
Not me, not him.
I don't want it.
Apparently Hannah does, but each to their own. So, what would you like to put in the sea this week?
Well, it's been chatted about a lot recently, so I don't want to dwell on it too much. But I would like to put in the tent company, Decathlon.
They're not a tent company.
They are not just a tent
Just
company.
throw that out.
They are a company that does lots of things. But I thought I'd kind of just shorten the version of what I was saying. But yes, Decathlon are a French company which do a lot of things, not just
Are they
tents.
French, are they?
They are French,
Oh,
yeah.
well, then they deserve it.
Right, that's the end of this. No, yeah, they're a French company.
Casual racism aside.
I went there to get a tent, but they have hiking stuff and biking stuff and other kind of active things that you want to do. If you want to do anything active, probably sell carabiners and ropes, and actually they sell big basketball hoops as well. That look pretty cool.
Can't say I've ever seen a decathlon with basketball in it.
Oh,
but
it's really the one at Lakeside does.
no, I mean the sport of decathlon.
Oh, I see. Yeah, can you imagine if that? Hey, listen, I think I'd be better off with something like that. But suffice to say, yes, it's a very sporty location. They do Quechua tents, which is the tent I love, and I've got every time I get a new tent, I get one from Quechua, and the last one was so good, I gave it to Jaeger. I say gave it. He's eventually going to give me some money for that at some point, or he's probably going to trade me one of his Ranger helmets for it. I don't know. Maybe he will. Maybe I can be up on that deal.
You do have a space in your IKEA.
Oh yeah, my
furniture
Kallax.
thing.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Oh.
It came up yesterday.
I have learned some Swedish this day.
You buy your tents from Kesha. Yeah, I do. Actually, it's Ke $ha. As you will want to tell me the other day. But yes, time is running out. TikTok, had to get my tent. So anyway, that was terrible. So I went and got the tent. I just can't even get into it. Oh my god. The bottom line.
You kind of have to, because I haven't heard any of this story.
It's just too long. The bottom line was, I tried to buy this tent I needed it for when we went away on the 25th, and it was then the 12th. So they said, the tent you want, which is a beautiful big inflatable tent, is in stock. You can have it. So I bought it, paid my money, and then they went, okay, no problems. And then they started to do that little thing where it says packaging it up, finding it, locating it, that sort of shit. And then as it got to the bit where it's just before, now we'll dispatch it, it stopped in that little line. And I'm like, so they found it, sourced it, picked it, packed it, now we've stopped. Now we've stopped.
Fucked it.
And then when I looked back the next day, on now the 13th of August, it said it'll get to you on the 25th. It's now the 13th. And I ordered it on the 12th. And so it's going to take 12 days to get to me. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I would never have ordered a tent. Who orders something? We all order stuff from Amazon. Why would we order something that's going to take 13 days to get to you? It doesn't make any sense. We're away by that point. I need the tent.
Unless you know that it's coming from a foreign country, in which case you accept that shit. But
which you would accept.
You order something from the UK, it needs to be with you within 5 working days.
Yeah, and if they say we're in stock, and it doesn't say...
in stock, yes.
It's in stock.
Yes.
So, you have to understand that... Captain Brilliant ordered a poker table from America, which actually had to be sourced from China. So they sent it from China to the United States to get packaged and back to him, and it got there in less time than my tent was going to get there. And it's just fucking stupid. So then what happened is I swung into action to try and convince them of what to do. So I went onto Facebook Messenger, because you can contact Decathlon that way, and they were like, sorry, we can't do anything about it, the time's the time. And I said, do you not have any? He says, yeah, we have 4. We always have 4. We have 4 locations or 5 locations. We have them in Aberdeen, Bolton, Rushton Hills, Broadstairs, somewhere else, Cambridge, something like that. And I was like, great. Well, just send me one of those.
Is there a Decathlon in Broadstairs?
Yes, there is.
Oh.
And they had 2.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, great. Send me one of those. And they're like, no, we can't. Because the problem with your order is that one of the things is coming from abroad. And I'm like, it's probably the pump. Because it can't be the tent. Because we know the tent is in Broadstairs or in these other locations. So I said, you're trying to source the pump from elsewhere. And then the person came back to me and said, no, we're not trying to source the pump. It's actually the tent. I'm like, you don't need to source the tent because it's already in your supply chain. And they were like, no, we can't take it from there because our sales and our online sales are different. I'm like, that's okay. Just sort it out. Just put it in a box, slap a fucking stamp on it and send it to me. And they're like, no, we can't do this. And I went through the entire time, emailing them back and forth. I'd spoken to them. So I now know, I said to them at one point, in this, and I must find, I didn't bring them in because it's just too much. I said at one point, at this point, I'm managing your supply chain better than you are. Because I'm
telling you how this should work.
I basically, what happened was, I went through it back and forth all day. I chatted to them on Facebook. They told me where it was. I told them what I wanted. I was doing every aspect. I was doing customer service, inventory, stock control, demand planning, and supply planning, and network planning. I haven't got a finger left. And I said all this stuff, and I just about to get to a solution when the day ended, and then the following day, when I got started again, it was a new person on the email thread, and they started me, and they said, started at the beginning and went back to square one, slid down the snake to square 0, as it were, and they went, oh no, we can't do that because it says the 25th, but it'll be there then. And that, by the way, it's an estimated time. It won't definitely be there then. That's the minimum time they think it will be, so they may as well not give me a time at all. So I said, no, whoever you are, you don't understand. And you don't have the thread for some reason.
It was fucking Faith, wasn't it?
Fucking Faith.
She's fucking moved from Shed
She's
Store.
moved from Shed Store. So they decided to start me off again. They didn't have the thread of everything. So what I did...
They got you started once again.
They did. I copied all the thread of the email into my own Word document and shoved it with my response as an attachment. And my response was basically like, here are the 5 points you need to do. 1, find this in your network. 2, send it to me. 3, this, and I itemized it. I said, 4, call me to tell me you've done it. 5, I'm doing your network better than you are. All you have to do is follow these steps and you will be successful. This is as simple as I can make it for you. And it was and by the end of it, they rang me up. And in the middle of this, while I was hoping to still resolve it, I called up Broadstairs and they said, if you drive to us, we'll give you one. And I said, we'll sell you one. And I said, sure, but can't you just send it to me? It's like, no, we can't send it. I'm like, you fucking hopeless shit. But these guys might still send one to me. And I was streaming that night, so I couldn't drive to Broadstairs. So I hoped to the next day they might resolve it. By the time they'd resolved it and called me back, they called me back to say, sorry, we can't do anything, because the online sales and store sales are separate. So I went, okay, fine. Please cancel my order. Then I picked up the phone to Broadstairs and they said, no, we sold them now.
Shit.
So myself and Aletha walked. We got on the tube. We went from her house all the way across London to Canada Water to buy one. They don't have any, obviously. There are now none in the network. Anywhere in the entire of England. The only one closest is Scotland, in Aberdeen. That's probably sold out by this point. We got them to check it when we got there. They have none. So what we had to do was we had to work out the closest tent, because we have to go away, the closest tent that's good enough to get it. So we're like, this one is a bit like it. It's not inflatable, but it has got the blackout element. We've got one of the bits we want. We'll buy this one. We lug it all the way back home. We leave it there. I get home the next day. I speak to Duncan, who's just come back off his cruise, and I said, Duncan, this whole thing's been a fucking palaver. And he said, what are you talking about? There's 4 at Lakeside. Because in that time, between me coming back from Canada Water and me talking to him the very next day, 4 had arrived in Lakeside. They'd restocked. And just a bit, nobody knows when the stock is going to come in. They don't know when stock's going to arrive. So it's just a complete surprise to both customers and staff when stuff arrives. And now
again, their supply chain is fucking atrocious.
Completely shit. So as a result, now we have a decision whether we use the shit one we've got or whether I drive up to Lakeside.
There's no decision, is there?
So I drove up to Lakeside. And I always be ranting. I know, right? So I drove up to Lakeside with Captain Brilliant to pick up a tent for me and for Duncan and get a thing. I rang them that morning. I said, I hear you've got... I rang at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock ticks over. Clonk. I'm like, hey, have you got 2 tents? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, will you put them aside for me? And they're like, yeah, I think we can do that. I said, can you do that? He said, yeah, I'll put your name on it. And I'm like, I just fucking hate this shit. I rang them up just before I left Folkestone.
Just to confirm, is there a tent there with my fucking
just
name
before
on it?
I leave, because you are in Lakeside and I'm in Folkestone, can you confirm? So
this is going to cost me fucking Dartford crossing money. Let's be fucking
clear. So I rang them up and I spoke to this person and I said, "Hi, can you confirm this?" And they said, "Hold on, we'll transfer you." So they transferred me. I was on hold. And then when the person picked up, they were like, "Hi," and I said, "Hi, thank God. Can you confirm if those tents are put behind for me?" And they went, "Hold on, I'll transfer you." So then they transferred me a second time. So I got transferred to a third person. And when I asked them, they went, "Oh, I've just checked our inventory online," which is ironic because none of them ever check anything like that. And we can't see them in the system. I don't know, maybe we've sold them. And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And she's like, "I'll just have a look. Yeah, I think I can see him there." And I'm like, "Listen, I'm about to drive."
I'm not driving there on. I think I
said,
can see them.
Yeah.
Please put your actual eyes on them and come back to the phone and tell me that you have physically seen the fucking thing. You fucking idiot.
And I said, and she said, "Yeah, we've got them." And
it's not even me, and I'm fucked off.
I know.
I'm pissed, Alex.
So I drove all the way up to Lakeside. And I mean, the happy aspect of this, when we got there, me and... Oh, and by the way, on the way, Captain Brilliant, there's a time thing to this. You've got to get up there before the store closes. And on the way up there, Captain Brilliant says...
soundtrack again, didn't you?
No, we didn't. He said to me as we drove up, he said, "Oh, by the way, did you want to stop and get a coffee?" And I'm like, No, I want to get... I want to get up there. And so he said, "Oh, actually, let's not stop and get..." I know, he said, "No, we got to... We got to get the tent." So we went up there, got through the doors, and I'm looking for it. I'm like, "Hi, I'm Alex. You've got these things for me." She said, "I'll just go and have a look." And like, she just had a look for tent store.
Oh, Tallulah, mate.
Perfect. There's a bit in The Godfather where he has to go and they ask Michael to kill this guy, and they store a gun behind the cistern. And in the first time he goes to go and get it, he reaches up and it's not there. And then he looks again in his heart-stopping moment to go and get it, and it's there. And it was a bit like that. The woman went round the corner and she was like looking, and she was like, "Oh," and I'm like,
so she's like, "Right, how am I going to break it to this guy that I don't have his?"
And then she stays, and then she goes back again. She looks a bit longer, and I can feel that she's behind there for a time which is so long that she's having to look longer than something that should just be.
I would have gamed the shit out of you. I'd have like proper put some expressions like, "Oh no."
Yeah, and then she brought out this trolley, and in it are 2 tents and a pump. And I was like, do I need to pay for these now, or can we go? And she went, you can take these, yeah, and wander around the store. Why, do you think I'm going to take them away from you? And I'm like,
yes. At this point, yes, I do.
Yes, I do. So, yeah,
like
finally.
Some prick's going to order them online, and your policy's going to change, and you're going to ship them from store right the fuck now.
Yeah. So, actually, I should have got the photo of me. There's a photo of me and Captain Brilliant with the fucking tents. But honestly, the fuck is wrong? And I know Duncan the singer is big on this sort of shit. It's like, if you make a mistake like this, you overcompensate for what you're trying to achieve. But honestly, I was looking up the CEO of Decathlon just to email him to tell him about his shit supply chain. He probably already knows. It turns out the tent that I actually ordered in the UK was actually coming from France.
Oh my God. So what about the other tent that you bought?
Well, as a result, I'm going to have to take that back. But it was at Aletha's, so by the time I went up to the Lakeside trip, I had now had to go and I'd have to come and get that back. So that is now with me. I will now have to return that, basically.
To Decathlon.
So I have to make one...
So you got to go to Broadstairs.
Final trip to Decathlon.
I might come with you. I want to quite fancy going to Decathlon.
Yeah, it's pretty cool there. Actually, there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know there was one in Broadstairs. We almost went to Lakeside to go to Decathlon the other day.
Oh, really?
And then decided not to. Had we known there was one in Broadstairs, we would have just fucking done that.
I don't hate to say it, all the people in the Decathlon stores are all lovely. They're just like really cool. But like the guys online are just hopeless shits. Anyway, I didn't read any of the chat. I hope you enjoyed that stupid fucking rant. But yes, Tallulah.
They enjoyed you just shouting a lot.
I was really super. I'm trying to. By the way, when we got there, when me and Aletha and Duncan were all in because we both got the same tent, because they're really super cool and they're really great, and the experience of being in that tent, because it has a blackout bedroomy section, so when the sun comes up you just don't get hit by the sun, which is what we wanted.
Apart from the fact you put yours up and you found that it did not come with any fucking felt.
There was no felt. No
felt on your tent.
There was no felt. It was amazing, and at that point I said, I can't believe we got to this point. And then Duncan was like,
Rooster remix.
Let's
Fuck Decathlon!
He was like, this didn't happen, Alex. None of this happened. All this stuff that you thought happened didn't. What happened was you drove to Decathlon, got it, picked it up. That's the whole story. And I'm like,
fuck
yes. You. So anyway, Decathlon.
Sploosh.
Goes straight in the fucking sea.
Nice.
It really feels like this was my tent. My shed store. Yeah.
Definitely was your shed store. Other than you got
what I wanted in the end.
You got what you wanted in the
end.
But
the thing was, I had to really go round the houses. I had to do all the work to get what I wanted.
Round the tents.
Round the tents, yeah. It's just that this is what I hate. It's like
nothing simple anymore, is it?
I had to do it to get. In the end, they're like, "Did this work out for you?" I'm like, "Yeah, but not because of you, motherfuckers, because of me."
Yeah. Because I went above and beyond, used all of my fucking time to make this fucking work.
Effort, legwork, money, tube fares, petrol, Dartford crossing, putting up with Captain Brilliant, all of that shit just to get the thing I wanted. It is a bloody good tent, though. After all this, I hope the weather is okay. I feel Alex might need some positivity. Maybe. What Duncan doesn't know is that what Alex doesn't know is that Duncan reserved all four. Do you know what? There were, at one point, Aletha had come up with a plan that once we found one, there was one near where she lives, that she was going to... you can only reserve it for a day, basically. So she was going to ring up on one day and reserve the tent because we were too far away from being able to get it because we weren't close enough to driving up. So she was like, I'll reserve it day one, and then when that runs out, you can reserve it day two. Yeah, by which point it had totally run out everywhere. Fuck me, it's a great tent if you can get it, though. And I did feel like I got a golden ticket. Like, I'm unbelievable. There's some people out there who...
still want that tent.
I know.
And they're right now like, what do you mean you can't just fucking ship me it from the store? It's laziness, really.
Do you know
because they know that they'll sell in the shops, so they don't need to.
Do you know what Duncan said? Duncan said, with all this shit, you need to go and tell them. I know what he's trying to do here. He says you need to tell the store that you've been going around the houses, you had to go to Canada Water, the whole story I've just told you. Mm-hmm. You need to tell them that, and then tell them that you'll buy 2 of these tents and a pump for like 300 quid, or whatever, 500 quid, right? Like, so knocking like 80 quid off the whole thing. And I said, yes, no, I'm not going to bother doing that. It's a waste of my breath. These things will sell themselves, and they're never going to discount it just because boo-hoo, I had a bad time. So, yeah. Oh, my God. Fucking Decathlon.
Boohoo.com.
Yeah.
Well, my thing going in the sea really
pales into
comparison to that. And it's definitely not as elaborate a story. And I don't even think it needs that much explaining, to be honest. I'm putting variable speed limits into the sea.
What's your problem with variable speed limits?
They only exist to congest traffic. They do not exist to help anyone in any way, shape or form. It's like, hey, look, this traffic's going really fucking well. 50 miles an hour. Fuck you. Congestion, traffic jams.
So is this where you're going through and it'll suddenly on the kind of overhangy bit?
It'll just be like 50.
60, 50, 40. Yeah.
Yeah,
but that shit.
But they'll drop from like, national speed limit to like 40 miles an hour.
Yes!
On a dime, and it's like, yeah, but you've got a fucking speed camera there, so you're making me harsh slam on the fucking brakes to stop to get to 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I wasn't really doing 70. And
this happened to me.
And so you slam on. It's like, I am causing a fucking hazard here because you fucking changed the speed on me at a moment's notice. Get fucked.
Yeah,
you're causing more damage than you are doing.
People then slam on the anchors and they click on their hazard lights to remind the people behind them that fuck this just shit got serious.
A lot of cars now, if you hit the brakes hard enough, they will put the hazards on as well as your brake lights. Yeah.
Yeah, I was driving through them up to see Aletha, and the other day when I went up on the Tuesday before Thorpe Park and LARP, and there were loads of these things going down, and I was driving reasonably well, and I've been going down it. Then it dropped quite significantly, and I'm like fine, 50's fine. I know it says 40, 50's fine. We're still the whole traffic, everyone was still moving at 50. It dropped quite sharply, and
sharply.
Yes, indeed, sharply, and Thorpe LARP.
LARP.
All the people. It stopped, and I think we could have slowed down, but like everybody by that point just kind of was like slowing down maybe to let's say 45 or something. And as I went through, there was a flash from the speed camera as it got us, and I don't know because it felt like it was reacting to the cars that were over that way. I don't know if it's got us all.
You don't know, yeah.
And nothing has come through, and that was Tuesday. and we've had a week and a bit. And I don't know how
take
fast.
A little longer, yeah.
I get a feeling that maybe. Did you brush your hair before the camera flashed? I didn't. It was a bit like going to Thorpe Park, actually, Dave Dog, because I kind of went, huh? Like that. So then, and as I understand it, you can buy that.
And you're
picture.
waiting for somebody to send you the terrible picture. Yeah. The sample of the terrible picture. You have to pay for the full picture.
I've never ever been caught by a speed camera before, so.
When I was last caught by a speed camera, it was a very long time ago actually. I had to do a speed awareness course.
Oh yes.
And most of the speed awareness course was them trying to justify variable speed limits. And it'd be like, yeah, but you don't know what's going on. There could be a cow in the field next to the motorway, and the fence might be a little bit broken. So for your safety, fuck off. Nobody is checking this shit. It's just made up as you go along. You can't convince me that this is for any proper use whatsoever.
It really feels pretty disingenuous. If you've not had it by 14 days, you won't receive it. That sounds like a really certain response. So when did I get flashed? Right
now.
Hooray! It was last Tuesday. So Tuesdays. That's 7, 8, 9, 10. It's been 10 days. 11, 12 is Sunday. So Tuesday again. Of course, that's how fucking weeks work, Alex. So if I can get to Tuesday, because presumably they don't post this anymore. Presumably they can.
No, they do post it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I have been looking in my post.
Because they have to ensure a correspondence that everybody gets.
Right. Oh, okay. Because I presume anyway.
They can't give you the excuse of, well, we emailed it to you.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't read my email. It went into spam. Yeah,
don't forget there was a bank holiday Monday. Does that make a difference?
Yes.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, the computers don't work on bank holiday Mondays. They take the day.
We'll find out whether I got flashed or I didn't get flashed.
Giggity.
Just the whole point of a hard shoulder is so that if there's an emergency, people stay safe. The amount of crashes that have happened because people hit people when the hard shoulder is being used as a lane is terrifying.
And that's another thing. The amount of traffic jams I got fucking stuck in because dickheads were rubbernecking. And that was the only... The accident was on the other side of the carriageway and people slowed down to rubberneck and it brought us down to 40 miles an hour. Fuck you! Fuck you! Twats.
Jaeger's here. Yo!
Yo!
We're just...
King of Legos.
I have to say, yes. Yeah, King of Legos indeed. And that's a real... Hey, listen. Someone's got to be the King of Legos.
Might as well be him.
So variable speed limits we're going to put in the sea.
They're all there in the sea. Sploosh.
Surely you mean condom neck. Oh, man. Yes.
People just love stealing our final words of this show, don't they? Tallulah stole it. Tamsin stole it. How are we going to end the show, guys?
I don't know.
We need some wit to end the show.
We're run out of that.
Christ.
Fresh out of it.
Yeah, Nova's here as well. Long and prosper, sir.
Just checking. Oh shit! I need to charge my phone.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, well, never mind. We'll do that in a bit. I need better friends. You can't put your nap in. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, it's too late. You're too slow. We need friends who turn up on time if they want to use their naps. To be honest. Yeah. So you're lucky that this segment is over. Otherwise, you might have been getting in the fucking sea. Won't you come with me? Gonna eat it in the sea. Won't you come with me? Gonna throw it in with glee. If you really, really hate it and you'd love to desecrate it, won't you come along with me and put it in the sea?
How tough. I was watching a film. What film were you watching, Jaeger?
Don't ask him that.
I want to know. Because then I can ask him what rating he gave it, and he'll overrate it because he is not discerning, much like Captain Brilliant, and then I'll tell him that
I thought you had things to do after this show.
I do.
Show your nap timekeeping.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Sounds terrible. What would you rate it out of 5?
I was going to give it 6 out of 5.
Is it anime? It sounds like it should be anime.
It's probably fine.
3. Nah, that's too high. It should be 2. So it's a Marvel films. It's film, not films. Actually, Alex definitely had a video about the 10 rings. Actually, that's what features in Shagger's Gonna Shag. The 10 rings. Every week I tell you about. Anyway, you can figure it out for yourself. I'm sure it's wonderful, Jaeger. I'm just fuck off. I'm tired. Hey, do you know what? That's legit.
Are we back now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What do you want to do now? What time is it? It's 10:30.
It's 10:30.
We've been doing it for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. You know that shit's real, and Harmstone is begging for a bit of Love Is Gonna Love. But, the way this show works is sometimes you get the segments, sometimes you don't.
Yes.
And as we add more segments, they don't all get in.
No, that's true.
And there will be weeks that we don't even do this last segment.
Yes.
I hate to break it to you.
I can't imagine. There might be a riot if we didn't do this last segment.
But it's here tonight!
It is!
And this is the segment we like to call, Am I the Asshole?
Am I the asshole? No, it's the children who are wrong.
That sounds exactly the same. Like when you said it, and then when you said it again.
I know the guy that recorded it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I
you know
can
that
do
guy.
his voice pretty well.
I'm impressed. Hold on, I get rid of the Tifu by letting the cat get my wife pregnant. Fuck me. I'm just gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna dunk it in the bin. Boom! I missed.
Now you can read the first one this time.
Okay, let us go. We've got 2 of them here. We're gonna wrap this shit up. Am I the arsehole for taking my food from my neighbour's apartment door? Fucking hell. My DoorDash, which I should explain, I think, is like...
Other delivery services are available.
It's like Deliveroo and all that sort of shit.
Not Just Eat.
No.
Because these guys actually deliver.
Yes. My DoorDash keeps getting delivered to the wrong apartment since there are 2 buildings with the same apartment numbers right next to each other. My DoorDash has been taken by the same apartment around 10 times in a span of 3 months. I recognise the apartment from the picture DoorDash sends, so I always go check to see if it's still there so I can have my food. Unfortunately, every time I go, they've already taken it in and probably eat it. Today, my order got delivered to their apartment again, and luckily, I was able to grab it. They have a camera on their door, and they saw me in it, and they told me to get off their property and give them the food since it was delivered to their house. They got very angry and told me they'd call the cops for taking things from their property. They also threatened to have me evicted. Oh, fuck off. I left the food there because it was late and didn't want other neighbours to be disturbed. Am I the arsehole for trying to take food not delivered to me?
No, you're the arsehole for leaving your food on someone else's doorstep.
Yeah, it was your food,
your
mate.
Fucking food.
This person's just hopeless.
Yeah, what he really needs is a pigeonhole.
Yeah. Hey! Right? At least if he had a pigeonhole...
They'd leave it in the wrong place there instead.
How do they keep fucking up? Seems kind of bullshit to me. Actually, I think I agree with you.
I mean, also, why wouldn't you... after, like, the second time, why wouldn't you be around to look out for the DoorDash guy and fucking intercept him? Like, hi, yeah, that's not the place you're going. It's up here.
This person's... It's either fake or the person's hopeless. Because it's like...
I think they're hopeless because they're asking this question.
Like, yeah, they are.
This is a very fucking obvious
happened
answer.
10 times in the span of 3 months. Order from someone else. Like, how can it be so hard? There's, like, wrong apartments. Since there are 2 buildings... with the same apartment numbers next to each other. So it's like building like 13 and building 14. It doesn't help that
the Americans fucking just use random numbers for their properties. Like their streets don't make sense. All of a sudden it's like 3 and then it's like 4,912. I'm like,
yeah, I think this I mean, after a while I'd just have ordered from fucking somewhere else. Like he can resolve this shit. He's not the arsehole for trying to take food not delivered to me because it is being delivered to you.
Yeah,
you're not.
This whole "it was delivered to my property, it's mine" thing.
Yeah.
Like,
also, the way he says, "Am I the arsehole for trying to take food not delivered to me?" Why did you phrase it like that?
Yeah,
it's such a stupid fucking thing to say. Do you know what? You are an arsehole.
Yeah.
Sort yourself out. Just order. You could have solved this. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're the arsehole for writing this instead of getting a fucking backbone.
Just like, honestly.
Ringing their doorbell and saying, hey, my food keeps getting delivered to you pricks. Stop eating my fucking food or I'll call the police and get you
exactly.
evicted,
And like,
cunt.
all this stuff is like, they threatened to have me evicted. They're kind of on the property, blah, blah, blah.
Like,
that all sounds
off.
like nonsense,
You're
frankly.
naive
But
as fuck, mate.
Everyone in this story is just a wanker. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. The DoorDash guy doesn't know what he's doing. And the other guys in the other apartment are twats. Like, this whole situation needs to be fucking just bombed from orbit, as it were. And we don't need to talk about it ever again. But that is just the starter to, well, a starter and main, of course, to the second part, which you're going to read. Because I'm not even... This Am I the Arsehole makes me look like a genius. Well, you know.
Said it, mate.
You said it. I'm gonna throw... I can dunk this one now.
You can, yeah.
You're going to do this
We
one.
only have one each because I accidentally printed everything twice because I'm a tit.
That is fine. Oh, I missed it again. I'm fucking terrible at this shit.
Fuck trees. Am I the arsehole for wanting a female stripper at my bachelorette party. That's hen-do for us Brits.
I did throw it in the ground.
Throwaway account because my other has some personal details. Right.
Okay.
My 22F fiance, so my 22F fiance, 24 male. She's female, 22F. Her fiance is 24 male. Glad we cleared that up. Are getting married soon. We've recently been planning our bachelor and bachelorette parties with our friends, and the discussion of strippers came up. He wanted one, so I said, no problem. He then jokingly asked if I wanted one too, and I actually agreed. In fact, I did want one.
Oh no.
He had no problem with it until I said that I also wanted a female stripper like him, rather than the male one he assumed I wanted. That's when the argument started. I'm bisexual, which my fiancé has known about pretty much since we met, and it's never been an issue before.
Oh no.
I've been with women and men before, and I just personally would prefer a woman over a man. I told him if he could have a female stripper, then so could I. He said it would be different, but wouldn't explain to me how. Just insisted it wasn't right for me to have one.
It's
It's
I'm not
fucking
going to tell you
different,
how.
love.
It's different.
It's just not. It's different.
It's
not
different.
the same.
Different.
It's not the same.
Don't ask me to explain myself. Different.
I've asked a couple of our friends about this, and they're divided. Some on my side saying it doesn't matter the gender of the stripper when I'm attracted to them both. The others saying
That's
it's
irrelevant.
the same as my fiance, that it's different.
It's different, mate.
One of my friends said that if I had a woman, that would basically be saying I'd rather be with a woman than him, which I honestly just find stupid.
God.
So, am I the arsehole for wanting a female stripper?
Jesus. And actually, do you know, as soon as I heard this, I thought of something, and what I thought was what Tamsinaki said, which is, fiancé is massively insecure and a twat. Do not marry him. At this stage, if this is what the problem you've got, is that he thinks it's different, innit? And like, oh, maybe there's a problem here, then you've got bigger fucking problems.
Yeah, no, there is a bigger problem
down the line.
He has not actually come to terms with your sexuality.
Yes, perfectly said. He has not come to terms with your sexuality. He's not happy.
Yeah.
He thinks you're gonna. He thinks
he has been like, I've got this woman, under the thumb now. Like she's forgotten that she likes women
she
as
likes
well.
women.
And we won't have any reminder that
he is
that she likes women as well.
He's got this stupid feeling, like a lot of stupid people do, that like because they are bisexual, that means they're gonna be unfaithful. Like because they like both genders, that means they're gonna cheat, isn't it? Which is a massive fucking nonsense leap. Fuck this shit. Oh fuck, this is another fucking controlling boyfriend situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a common thread in
It is.
Asshole, to be fair.
Get these people in the fucking sea.
Yeah.
And since you look for the biggest idiots you can find, well, we try.
I mean, this is the planet Earth.
Yes.
There are lots of them. They don't hide.
It's just like, it's unbelievable. Like, she says, listen, the thing is, right, it would have been not unreasonable if I ever get married and I say, I want a stripper.
Which you wouldn't.
Which I won't, yes, as you know me so well. I wouldn't.
I would, and did.
And you did. But if I said I wanted one, and my fiancé said, listen, I'm really uncomfortable with that. I mean, by the way, I don't know how we'd ever get to that situation without them knowing that we love strippers. But, like, I don't know how we get to that without them knowing. But I would hope that I'd sensitive enough to say, well, actually, if you're not comfortable with that, then we won't do it. But he seemed fine to say, by the way, I'm having my bachelor party and my stag do. I want a stripper. And she went, that's super cool. Go for your life. Can I have one too? Yes. Can I have it? And can it be a girl? Oh, no, that's super weird. That's super weird? That's the bit you have a problem with? I mean, I don't want to...
Like, of course she wants a female stripper. Men are fucking disgusting.
Of course. And the other thing is just like... I don't want to kind of generalise here.
You want a
but
female
like,
stripper?
Honestly, there are a lot of guys who have lesbian fantasies, and whilst he's not going to be a part of that, I'm super surprised with this.
That might be the problem, is he's not going to be there to observe it.
Do you know what? The idea...
He is jealous.
That a guy... That it is a massive, but not unreasonable speculation that he's like... He might be like, oh my god, she's getting this. Like, and just be like, hey, fill your boots, go for it. But instead of being like that, he's like, this is weird.
The rule in a male with a female stripper is no touch. I'm not sure that rule exists quite as
readily,
vehemently for a female with a female stripper.
We can only hope.
You can probably do a little bit of the touchy.
And
they won't mind.
You'd only ask for a stripper if she darts the creep. I've seen it. I've been there. I've done that.
He was the creep.
I did feel I maybe a little bit.
I think Jaeger's nailed it there, actually. Why is the fiancé so fucking dumb? Quote, she wants a female stripper. She's clearly going to fuck her and leave me. She can't have one. It's different. And that is his mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like, and as Tamsanaki said earlier, like, he's massively insecure. It's like, oh, if his baseline thoughts are, I think my fiancé might cheat on me, then that is going to be a deep-seated thing. Stripper
he clearly
colleague from work.
Has in his head that
personal trainer.
At any time, they're moments away from her running off with another woman instead of him.
So, like, he thinks she's going to run off with someone, and it needn't be a stripper. It could be anyone that she encounters in her life, but that's his mindset, and that's going to be the fucking...
I mean, to be fair, if he is in that mindset, he also deserves to be reassured as much as the next person. But this is definitely something that should be addressed.
He should then listen to that reassurance
pre-marriage.
I suspect that
because it's different is probably a way of saying I cannot fully articulate my feelings on the matter. I am massively insecure about this, and I don't fully trust
because someone who's sharp enough should turn around to him and say, "This is your insecurity."
Yeah, okay,
and we need to get past this.
You're not being totally honest with me here. Let's have a proper conversation. About it.
Stop this whole thing before we get, because if we're going to get into a marriage here,
you're clearly uncomfortable. I would like to understand why you're uncomfortable and address whether you have a right to be uncomfortable or not.
Dave is just hitting innuendo after innuendo. So yeah, I mean, he is being an arsehole, but maybe they can work through it. I would suggest they don't, but there is, as Jaeger says, a lot of this kind of like insecure, control-y boyfriend stories, and I always enjoy them because I know that I'm not like that.
Insecurity is a big cause of relationship problem, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh, but also, if he's assuming she's going to run off specifically because she's bi, he's an ass. And that's what I'm saying. This is a classic thing. They're like, oh, well, she's bisexual, so therefore, because she has double the amount of genders to enjoy or to like, let's say, as a result of that, there's double the chance of infidelity.
There's bisexuals just greedy, aren't they?
Greedy, and probably want to cheat. Yeah. Whereas if she wasn't,
can't choose.
She was heterosexual, she wouldn't cheat because I'm heterosexual and I wouldn't cheat. So none of this makes any fucking sense. How did you get to marriage? This is what's confusing me. Knowing what we know about him, these warning signs, these red flags must have come up at other points in this relationship that have been chosen to be ignored all the way up until this point. This can't have been a surprise. Do you know what I mean?
Tell you what, folks. Compromise. You both get male strippers. Go fuck yourselves.
Thank you very much. Good night. But yeah, we all agree. I would like to read...
So said all of us.
And so say all of us. Go fuck yourself. But I quite like to read...
also the stripper.
Yes. And I would like to read what other people have said about it. I just get a kick out of reading the Reddit on this to see what everyone else kind of weigh in. But also I'd like to see if there's an update where it's like, update, we're not getting married anymore. That would be the best update. You know?
Update, he got a male stripper and fucked him and went off with the male stripper.
What? And that would be a twist.
That would be a hella twist.
What a fucking twist. That would be incredible. But so many of these things in these situations should be update.
Am I the arsehole for running off with the male stripper I didn't want?
And then the cat got him pregnant. How did it happen?
Find out next week on Don't Get Me Started.
Always be catting, I'll tell you that. Well, I think that was excellent.
Thoroughly started.
Do you want to try and look for someone you might want to raid? But
I am looking. Phil time. Let's have a look.
I thought you found someone called Phil. And you thought we're going to raid Phil. When a mummy and a house cat love each other very much. When a tabby cat and a seagull love each other very much. At least that's what I think happened with your cat.
Yes.
Yes. Have you found?
I have found a candidate.
You have. Well, we will go across. Oh yes! What a nice idea. Let's definitely go and do that.
Yes. So thank you very much for joining us.
Back once again.
We have thoroughly fixed everything now in the going away and the doing things on different channels 2 weeks in a row. So we will resume normal service and we will return to always be chatting.
Magic Mike's just popped in.
Turns up at the end.
Heard stripper.
I heard stripper. Well, that would bring me to the yard, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next week, DGMS back again on Alex's channel, and then back here. You get it.
You understand it. These guys get it.
Yeah. And so we will bid you adieu.
Yeah.
With the stellar question that I have for Alex.
Oh no.
Okay, if you were a stripper, what would be your name?
What would be my name? Smexy Lexi.
Nice.